The chapter that me and my group have been working with is chapter 10, called Alcohol, Tobacco, and Other Drugs. So the standard I will be working with is NHES 2, 4, and 7, and the title for the standard is I Will Not Drink Alcohol, and the objective is demonstrate how to use resistance skills to say no to drinking. So I would start the lesson by explaining how last class we talked about alcohol and all the effects it has on our bodies. Then I would begin by activating prior knowledge by asking students, can anyone remind us about some of the negative effects we discussed last class and what alcohol does to our bodies? I would have students turn and talk to a partner for about a minute and then share out by raising their hands. So answers from students should vary from impaired judgment, poor decision making, feeling invincible, having aggressive behavior, blackouts, hangovers, and alcoholism. So I would explain that today there are going to be 5 stations set up around the room. Each station has a different scenario where you would be offered alcohol or asked to go somewhere where there is alcohol. I will explain how I want students to work with their partners that I assign to come up with one way you would say no for each scenario given. There will be space under each scenario for students to write how you and your group members would respond. You only have about 2 to 3 minutes at each station until you have to switch. We are going to be rotating clockwise to each station around the room. I would say to students, as you go around and read each scenario, I want you to be asking yourselves questions such as, how could you go about saying no to alcohol in this situation? Or what are some strategies that you might use? So a possible scenario students may get at one of their stations could be, you are at your friend's house on a Friday night and his or her parents decide to go out to dinner. Your friend invites a couple more people over. When they arrive, one of them says that they might be able to get their older brother to buy you all alcohol. So after all groups have gone to each station, I will have students return to their seats. I would gather each of the 5 scenarios with students' responses under them and project them onto the board. I would read students' responses out loud so that students can see and get a wide variety of ways that they are able to say no to drinking alcohol. When all responses are read out loud, I would explain to students how we will take the remainder of class time to write an advice letter to a future 6th grade student that could be in one of these possible scenarios. I would tell students that they should start out by explaining the negative effects of alcohol and what it does to our bodies and why it is so important to resist drinking alcohol, followed with a couple examples of how to say no. This letter can be written in first person from the student to a future 6th grader, and this will be their exit ticket and the conclusion of our lesson.